Remember this?
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, and I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
Turns out we weren't crazy, because Dr. Jill just diagnosed the disaster. Quote, Jill Biden wondered if her husband had unknowingly ingested drugs or was having a medical episode on live television. Is he short-circuiting? Is this a stroke? Has he been drugged? Now, a normal wife would have called 911. But when the debate was over, she called it a great night.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Everybody remembers that night, Biden's blank stare, mouth agape. Jill saw it, Democrats saw it, and he knew he blew it. Quote, as the president walked off the stage, he whispered to his wife, I really effed up, didn't I? Yes, you did, I whispered back. The doctor says, don't blame me. This was just a one-night thing. Quote, oh, God, will people watching assume this is how he is all the time? People watched him for 4 years. We knew he was like this all the time. Even CNN's like, are you serious?
I think, yeah, the conversation should be had about the deceptiveness
I think
that was behind this. Like, that's the conversation that I think ought to be had. The autopsy that the Democrats didn't delve into that, and but it should.
Yeah.
What kind of political system covers that up and makes it okay to lie to people about what everybody knows is true?
So how does Dr. Jill think she can get away with this? 1,000 tell-alls have already come out from Democrats saying Biden dozed off his whole presidency. Here's one reporter, roll it.
Well, she says that she's never seen him act that way before or since, but in the interviews that, over 200 of which that Jake and I did, other people did see him act like that in the months before and in the months after that.
So Jill Biden's lying to make debate night look like a hiccup, after the whole country knows it wasn't. And this just in, Jill Biden writes that her husband battled excruciating pain most days of his presidency because of a 2020 foot injury that never healed. The poor guy. No wonder he kept falling and dozing off. He was hurting. But his wife was like, 4 more years. What a betrayal. Aren't women supposed to take care of their husbands? Shouldn't she have leveled with him and said, Joe, sweetie, you're in agony. You serve the country. Let's pass the torch. Instead, they said he's fine. He's the best Biden ever. And they're still at it. They're still lying to our faces. It's a part of why the whole party's in shambles.
Democrats, as a party, only have a 20% approval rating. What's gone wrong with your party? Why do so many Americans look at your party? And I know it's different reasons. Some Democrats are dissatisfied because they don't think you guys are tough enough. But, I mean, that's a horrible approval rating.
Democrats would have turned the page from the Biden term. But these cast of characters keep spitting out books. Kamala, Binder, now Jill. Joe's on deck. They're getting paid to write them, but Democrats should pay them not to. The Biden legacy's haunting the party. Sleepy gave birth to Mayor Pete. And now Buttigieg is on top, beating knee pads, Kamala, and AOC. All 4 have led the field at some time. The race is up for grabs. But now Buttigieg has the edge. And Big Greg just lost hers.
I think there will be a robust group of people running for president. I will not be one of them in 2028. I can tell you that.
Meanwhile, in Texas, Tallarico is getting his hands on whatever meat he can. He's still trying to convince us he's a carnivore, not a freak. He's even selling Tallarico shirts. Johnny ordered 2. 3-time loser Beto O'Rourke says tofu Tallaricos got it in the bag. Hopefully it's a reusable one.
He's the best I've seen over the course of my life running and being involved in politics in Texas. James Tallarico will be the 51st vote in the U.S. Senate.
Beto's blessing just pushed Paxton to 60% odds. Frico can feel it. He's got the meat sweats.
There are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
This is Texas. This is not.
The American flag is such a complicated symbol for most of us.
This is Texas. This is not.
They're going to call me a radical leftist.
This is Texas. This is not.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
I love, and I'm just say this because it's on my mind, the trans children.
Speaking of odds, Karen Bass, they're in Biden's basement. She just collapsed 10 points. Why? Well, knee pads kiss of death certainly didn't help.
In the context of where we are today and the work that we have ahead of us, I thought the meeting that Karen Bass had with the president was a very positive meeting. I think the work she's doing now on permits in particular, getting those permit times down, we're seeing real progress. And I think she deserves to be promoted for those things.
The only reason Karen got any permits through is because of Trump's executive order. Now, another reason Greasy endorsed the lady who led LA Burn, because she met Trump. Primetime calls that an A+ take. Gavin's never seen one of those.
What would you give her a report card right now, A to F?
I don't do report cards.
You know, I have to add.
I don't do them because I didn't do well in school.
There's a gift to Republicans. I can see the ad now. I didn't do well in school. Spencer's not surprised knee pads bent the knee. He's calling the cops on him anyway.
It's not shocking because they're alleged criminal partners. Not only did they work together in their negligence in burning down 7,000 houses and 12 people alive, but they're both complicit in laundering, $24 billion to actually increase homelessness. There has not been a reduction in one homeless person. Actually, there's been an increase of naked drug addict zombies in front of every kid's playground, every kid's school, every coffee shop. So that is, of course, because they both should be in jail together.
Pratt's done playing nice. If you're not with them, you're against them.
Literally have no experience.
Oh, what is Councilman Rama's experience? Making drug addicts next to kids at schools? Is that the experience like? Hold on. She likes drug addicts in front of kids' schools. They fight for literal drug addicts to be in front of kids at parks. People are nuts. It's crazy.
Jimmy Kimmel wants to look away, but he can't. Pratt's pulling more views on Instagram Live than he's gotten in years.
His profession is to be the screaming jerk on reality shows. Mayor should not be your first job. The mayor of L.A. is in charge of a $14 billion annual budget. Spencer Pratt is not the person who should be in charge of it.
Pratt's reaction to Kimmel? He says Jimmy's secretly voting for him. And Kimmel should know better. Most of his guests already fled Hollywood. But Pratt says they didn't leave L.A. L.A. left them.
They saw me destroy these two terrible politicians for an hour straight, and everybody realized, oh, finally somebody telling the truth. I mean, a lot of it's from all over the country because people forget over 50,000 people a year leave Los Angeles because it's so terrible. So these people see that I'm saying why they left, so they're trying to get me elected so they can move back. That's what people are missing. These are actually former Angelinos that got forced out of this city.
No wonder so many citizens self-deported. Noodles didn't notice the homeless encampments until one popped up right outside her window.
So I woke up this morning to a sound of commotion outside of my window, and I looked out the window and I realized that there were people setting up what was, I think, a fake encampment, like a homeless encampment outside of my house. Multiple people gathered there filming it to make up shooting something with cameras and things like that outside of my house.
Pratt turned his cameras into a campaign and the people into the message.
For somebody who's been on this corner for this long, How bad is it right now?
Probably the worst it's been in recent years. This needle giveaway program that is in the park has got to stop. These kids need a place to play. They need a place to grow up. They don't have it. With all of this, it was taken away from them. We used to have boats in the lake where you could go out on a Sunday and spend time with your family and your loved ones and enjoy the park, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the outdoors. We no longer have that. I like your passion, and I think it's something the city of LA needs.
Spencer Pratt never wanted to be mayor. He just opened his eyes and couldn't close them.
I'm the look around candidate. I just say, look, they're stealing all of our tax money to give it to drug addicts. People want an outsider that's not a politician, that's just saying the facts, the truth. These people have failed us. They've spent all of our tax money to increase problems. And I keep it basic. And again, I never wanted to be the mayor. I just wanted somebody to tell the truth. And by telling the truth, now the people are behind me.
Turns out all you had to do was look around. And once you do, you can't look away.
Mayor race, Spencer Pratt. Go Spencer Pratt.
And why?
Why? What are you talking about? Why? Just look around, man. Why?
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.